So, class, we've talked a lot about water lately, right? We're now in depth scholars on the water cycle, which is great because it's super important. After all, water is necessary to all life on Earth, and the Earth is comprised of about 71% water. Crazy, right? Well, today, we're going to continue talking about water, moving on to our lesson on the hydrosphere. Now, we've all heard the term atmosphere in this class this year. What is the hydrosphere? Well, just like it sounds. The hydrosphere is all of the water in any state surrounding the surface of the Earth and the Earth's atmosphere. Just like we mentioned when speaking about precipitation last week, it is really important to remember that water comes in more than just one physical state. Let's look at some examples. The first state in which water comes is obviously liquid. See this picture of the Mississippi River? Well, that is most definitely part of the hydrosphere. Remember that any water on the Earth's surface is for sure part of the hydrosphere, no matter what form it's in. That means oceans, ponds, even the lake in Mr. Doss's hometown are all part of the hydrosphere. Now, this next example is a little bit less obvious. Think back to when we talked about precipitation. We said that precipitation is not just rain, but snow, sleet, hail, any forms of water like that fall from the clouds, right? Well, a very similar thing can be said regarding the hydrosphere. When we think of all of the water on or around the Earth's surface, we may think of just liquid water, but we can't forget about all of that frozen water too. See this picture of a glacier to the right? Well, that glacier is simply a bunch of frozen water, and it is on the Earth's surface, correct? It's a form of water. It's on or around the surface, so it is therefore part of the hydrosphere. Now, this last example is often overlooked as well, because we can't really see it. Remember what happens when water molecules get heated? They turn to water vapor, right? Well, even though we can't see it, it's important to remember that the water vapor in the atmosphere around us is also part of the hydrosphere. Probably never thought of it like this before, but that steam coming off your last bowl of hot soup was actually part of the hydrosphere. Crazy, huh? Now, lastly, it's important for us to know what the distribution of these types of water in the hydrosphere are. Now, this picture is a little blurry, a little bit hard to see, but you can tell by this pie chart that oceans make up a huge part of the hydrosphere. Now, it says 95.2 right there. That's the percentage of the hydrosphere that is comprised of oceans. But we must remember that there are lots of other types of water like rivers, lakes, stuff like that. All in all, water, liquid water, makes up about 97% of the hydrosphere. Remember ice caps, glaciers, things like that? That frozen water? That makes up about 2% of the hydrosphere. And the other 1% is left to a lot of that water vapor about which we talked.